we were talking about Lenny Bruce and the tragedy that befell this fellow really right through his life. This, to my mind, is one of the real tragedies, not only of entertainment, but of life itself. Either way, we're here at W09-8989. Have you been to Ola's yet? Ola's is at 14 Carver Street. They feature the finest Norwegian food, and of course a Norwegian smorgasbord. They have a second place down at Falmouth, at the Falmouth Playhouse, and whatever days the Falmouth Playhouse has a matinee, similarly does Ola's open for lunch. And it's called Ola's at Falmouth. But for you folks here in Boston, get on down there. They're at 14 Carver Street, accessible to all MTA, accessible to walking distance from most of the downtown area. Well worth the trip if you drive by car. Parking lot right on the corner. If you like Norwegian food, the finest in Norwegian food, and the finest in Norwegian smorgasbord, get down to Ola's, O-L-A-S, Ola's 14 Carver Street, and remember, for those of you on vacation, Ola's at Falmouth, adjacent to the Falmouth Playhouse. We had a lot of good comment on the sport album that we played. Ralph Wyman was kind enough to leave one off at the house called Great Moments in Sports. We played the baseball cuts last week, and again I say we had some very, very nice comment. We're going to play a few football cuts now, and if you people like it, we'll play a little more of it later on this evening. This particular side of the album features 4 cuts narrated by Clem McCarthy. They're self-explanatory, but for those of you who may be interested in what they are, in case you're not interested, this will give you a chance to get up the air or make that phone call that you had to make, or those of you in summer school can get back to the books. The airline hostesses that listen can call Ken's and find out if any of the pilots are down there, and that's a rendezvous, you know, the pilots, and you know how those airline hostesses are with those pilots. You know, I hate to talk, Cap, but I'll tell you later. But anyway, the 4 cuts on this feature Knute Rockne giving his famous pep talk to his Notre Dame team in 1925. Roy Riegels, this is the poor unfortunate who ran the wrong way in a Rose Bowl game in 1929 and scored a touchdown for the wrong team. And of course, sportscaster Harry Wismer's all-time boo-boo when he didn't know when the Army-Navy game was over, and this wasn't too long ago. This was 1951. And of course, a Pearl Harbor announcement made in the middle of the New York Giant Brooklyn Dodger football game in 1941, and the late Connie Mack and the late Babe Ruth telling of their other meetings with the Japanese in 1942. All in all, this makes for interesting listening. But let's hear it now.